How safe is Kaspersky Internet security? Hi everyone, Leo Notenboom here for askleo.com. Here's a question that I got, to be honest, several years ago that has increased relevance today. Hello Leo, I've been using Kaspersky Internet security for many years now without problems or viruses. What I'm concerned about is all the negative news I've been reading and hearing about Kaspersky. I've read that he is a spy for the Russian government and that he's been hacking our systems at the request of the Russian government. What should I do? Should I uninstall Kaspersky that has been protecting my computers for years now, or just ignore the negative news? Can you give me the truth of what's going on with Kaspersky? My answer originally was, I don't know what's going on with Kaspersky. My updated answer is, I still don't know what's going on with Kaspersky. But unfortunately, current events in this year, 2022, basically have caused me to change my recommendation about what you should do. And it's unfortunate because ultimately, Kaspersky is apparently a good product. Now, I want to be clear. Like I said, this is nothing new. Kaspersky has always come under fire from various audiences because they are headquartered in Moscow, Russia. The same is true for many different software vendors. Another good example is that Asus To-Do, one of the backup solutions that I recommend, is headquartered in China, where many people do have concerns about the Chinese government exercising that same kind of, malicious intent, forcing Asus to do something. The issue here is honestly not that Kaspersky is doing anything. Every time there's been a claim that someone has made about Kaspersky, it's never been proven. There is actually no data, zero data, to show that they've ever been anything but above board about what they do, how they do it, and how they don't spy on us or feed data back to the Russian government. They do try to minimize their Russian ties. If you go to their United States website, you actually won't find anything about them being headquartered in Moscow. They're a U.S. company with a headquarter in London, apparently. But in reality, if you look back further, I had to currently go back to the Internet Archive to look at older versions of their pages. But if you go back further, you'll see that, yes, indeed, Kaspersky Internet Software is headquartered in Moscow because that's where Mr. Kaspersky is from. But again, there's never been any data that shows they've ever done anything actually wrong. Are they hiding their ties to Russia? Well, to be honest, you could go either way, right? Given that implication that so many people are making, it might make sense for them to downplay the relationship. On the other hand, it could be nefarious. They could be downplaying the relationship just because they have reasons to. Again, I don't know. So, the issue now in 2022, of course, is that Russia has invaded Ukraine. There are a number of issues dealing with any corporation that's based in Russia, be it the sanctions, be it just not wanting to do business there, be it any number of different reasons. Many people and many companies are electing to remove all support from Russian-based organizations. Here's the thing. Like I said, with respect to Kaspersky, there is no data that says they've ever done anything wrong. But because they are based in Russia, because Kaspersky is apparently a Russian national, it is possible that they could be forced to do something, the kind of something that we've been afraid of for all this time, at the hands of the Russian government. They could force the issue. They could force Kaspersky to put in spyware. They could force it to do something that we don't want them to do. In the past, that has seemed incredibly unlikely, but given current world events, it seems a little bit more plausible than it might have been in the past. As a result, if I were in your shoes, And if I were running Kaspersky software, this is what I would do. I would uninstall it. I would, in the case of security software, let Microsoft Security, Windows Defender, whatever it's called this week, let that take over the job. It is my recommendation for most people anyway. You don't need to install a third-party anti-malware or security suite. The stuff that's built into Windows 10 and Windows 11 is plenty for most people. And uninstalling Kaspersky or uninstalling any third party should cause Microsoft Security to basically step in and take over for you. Now, if you want a third party, fine. There's plenty of other third parties. My article, What Security Software Do You Recommend? While it does recommend Microsoft Security and Windows Defender, also lists a few other packages that over the years have had a good reputation and are things that you might want to consider. Again, if you want an additional or an alternate third-party security solution. It's unfortunate. I honestly think this is unfortunate. I do think that Kaspersky is probably fine. There's probably nothing going on, and that there hasn't been anything going on. But at this point, given the political turmoil, given the situation here in 2022, it's a risk we just don't need to take. There's no reason to run Kaspersky specifically. There are plenty of alternatives, plenty of free alternatives. So at this point, I guess I'd say, yep, it's time to back away. For updates, for comments, for related links and more, visit askleo.com/28269. I'm Leo Notenboom, and this is askleo.com. Thanks for watching.